Morning, y'all. So I got a phone call. First, I got a text. I got a text about 4:30. And normally when you get a text at 4:30 in the morning, it's either somebody who can't sleep or somebody that know you up and they want to reach out and talk to you or whatever. So I got a phone call. I got a text at 4:30, and then I got a phone call at like 4:45. So my alarm go off at 4:30. Alarm had already went off. Hit that to go off, so I'm laying there about to get up and do my thing. Then I got a phone call at like 4:45, and it's my man, and he basically, calling me, telling me how his nephew got shot, and he gone. And I know a lot of people, you know, I, I remember I posted something a while back, and I ain't gonna say negative feedback, but I got some feedback that I didn't agree with. And I mean, it is what it is, but it was a few people talking about they tired of hearing all of the negativity. They tired of hearing, you know, um, this, that, and the third. People been shooting each other for years, and it pissed me off a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, it pissed me off. And because it just made me feel like, people don't give a fuck about what's going on out here until it happens closer to their family or happens to them, and or something happens to somebody in their circle or something like that. And it just feels like, people just don't give a shit. People say they do, but they don't. And it's like, I always think about me when I was younger, carrying guns in the street, doing whatever I was doing. And I look at it like it's a total blessing that I'm still here. I mean, it's a total blessing that I've met the people that I've met in my life outside of my family. My core group of guys that are my men, those are my family members now. I mean, we got 20 years plus, friendships, man. We got 20 years plus, man. Some of us got more than that. And back in the day, I remember, carrying a gun. Carrying a gun was like carrying a gun was like I don't want to say it was a badge of honor, but it was like more of a protection piece. It wasn't like carrying it to let everybody know you had a gun. I mean, because a lot of times when I walked up in Baloo, people ain't know I had a gun on me. The only person I'm gonna say the only two people majority of the times that knew I had a gun on me, even when I was in Roosevelt. I carried a gun when I was in Roosevelt. And I never forget the security guard, I think his name was Mac, big bald head dude. He was from Florida, cool as shit. Always talked about Trick Daddy. Always talked about Trick Daddy. And I never forget me and my man Tree, man, 103, man. I remember me and my man Tree was in front of the carry out on 14th Street, and Matt came to the car. He was like, man, one of you young brothers got $10. So me and Tree looked at each other, because we ain't really fuck with the security guards like that at all. I mean, we was doing our thing, but we ain't really fuck with the security guards at all. But I remember I gave him $15. I was like, this all the cash I got, $15. So I gave him that. And I remember going to school one day, and I'm high as shit, and totally forgot that I had my hammer on me. I was like, oh shit. And I'm like right at the door in line talking to Tree. We rapping and shit. I'm like, damn, I forgot I got the toast on me. He was like, damn, you gonna go back to the car? I was like, man, we already right here. So we coming through the line, and I can see the security guard Mac, and he see me. And I could just remember looking at him like, he was like, so I went through the metal detector. That motherfucker went on. He fake warned me and shit. You good? Go ahead. So I looked at him, and as he was warning me, I looked at him. He looked at me like, you got me? I looked at him like, absolutely. And so I think later on in the day, he saw me down in the cafeteria, And I think I gave him a couple dollars or something, you know what I'm saying? But I don't even think it was about the money. I think it was more about him trying to figure out, you know, what was up with me. And so we talked one day, and I kind of told him, you know, I wasn't from this side of town. You know, I grew up on the south side of town or whatever. And him being from Florida, he don't really know, but he can kind of understand coming from Florida to D.C. kind of, you know, so he related to me a little bit. And that goes into, you know, going to Ballou. Same thing. I had a security guard up there. God, you know, rest in peace. Man, Big John used to be at the door, and every morning he used to see me. He used to be like, "What's up, big dog? You good?" I used to be like, "Yeah, I'm good." He'd be like, "All right, come on, go through the metal detector. That joint go off." I used to slide him $20, buy him something from MLK, you know, whatever. You know, we couldn't go off campus. You know, Dr. Jones was like, "Look, we ain't going off campus. We locking shit down. Y'all niggas need to stay in school." So I remember when you was going off campus, you either had to be a senior with a half a day schedule, or you had to have like some special privilege where you could just leave. And I remember I used to roll out. John used to be like, "Where you going?" I said, "Man, I'm about to run to the deli. You want something?" I'm like, "Yeah, bring me back, you know, that turkey club, woo woo." I'm like, "All right, bet, I got you." So I would run to MLK, handle some business in the process, come back, give it to him. And I ain't never had no issues. So I've always carried a gun, man. I've always carried a gun. Always. I've always had a gun on me. And people in my circle knew that, you know what I'm saying? But people who wasn't close to me or just knew me, you know, just knew I was a cool dude, you know, had the weed and, you know, just was cool. But I kept the toast on me. And I think that's a part of the story that people don't know about me. Who really don't know me, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I was one of them people who, you know, carried a gun because I wanted to be protected. I didn't want to carry it because I wanted recognition. I just carried it because I wanted to be safe. I was in an environment, and I had involved myself in a game where you had to protect yourself. You had to keep your head on the swivel. You had to know who the fuck was in your circle and who wasn't. And when motherfuckers walked up on you and you ain't know them, you needed to determine whether they was the feds or niggas trying to rob you. And so going fast forward, yeah, it's been people killing people for years. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that the shit is okay and that we can't, as a people, get out here and try to prevent that shit. I'm not saying that we gonna stop it. Like, I love the fact that my man Rollo, with Chill the Streets, he said it best. He was like, "Kevin, we not trying to, you know," he said, "we not trying to stop gun violence, we trying to reduce it. Because if we can make a dent in it, then we can, you know, keep doing whatever we doing and keep going that route to put a reduction on the rate of gun violence." And I mean, I got a call this morning, man, and it just hit me because I'm like, it's happening too much, y'all. I mean, I know people been dying for years, man, but it's happening way too much, and we are wiping out. And I mean, when I say we, I mean, you know, us as a people, man, we wiping out an entire generation, man. I mean, these youngers, I'm 41. So I'm talking about these youngers that's 10 years younger than me, you know, 30, 28, 27, you know, the younger niggas. And it's like, they killing each other at a rapid rate, man. And 9 times out of 10, it ain't over nothing serious. It ain't over no drug beef. Because niggas ain't making money out here like they was no more. It ain't about no territory. Niggas ain't, you know what I'm saying? That shit old. I mean, a lot of the territorial shit that was going on back in the 90s, man. Ain't no territorial shit going on. The old heads that was locked up coming home, they just trying to, you know, be back out here. And I know some of them talk to the youngins. And I was talking to a youngin at the Metro station not too long ago, and he was like, "Man, I was trying to talk to this young nigga K-Dog, and he went on me. Called me an old nigga, this, that, and the third." So, I mean, I just feel like, man, I mean, we can't stop talking to these youngins, man. We can't. We got to keep talking to them. We got to tell them our story, and we got to tell them where that shit lead, man. Because now we got a family that's mourning, and now we got a group of individuals may or may not wanting to retaliate, and then that cycle continues. I mean, you kill somebody, that person's family or set or group of people want to now go kill somebody that when they find out who did it. And I mean, it's just going on and on, y'all, and it has to stop, man. It has to end. So we have to figure out a way to stop this gun violence, and I'm definitely gonna be one of them people who gonna advocate, man, stopping the violence, man. Let's stop the cycle, man. The cycle needs to end. It's my morning message, y'all. Gun violence has to end, man. We got to get out here and try to reduce it as much as possible. 6th Man.